By the end of this video, as a person who's looking to join graphic designing, you will learn 7 things that will set your perspective straight and help you take better decisions that will hopefully make your journey really easy. The first one, as AI is coming in, and AI is one thing, augmented reality is another, virtual reality is another, and as Apple is coming in with spatial reality, okay, things are going to get different. So, first thing is get as acquainted with things as you can and learn a lot of things. So, for example, you are really into logo designing, but you have to at least learn what or know what motion graphics are. How do logos play a role in virtual reality? How will they, be used in AI? And don't take AI as something that is of a competition, but learn how to integrate it. So when you're learning, include AI in that as well. That is your first point. The second, when it comes to designing, one thing that we pay a lot of attention to is Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Affinity. That is one thing. But what about designing itself? See, when you think about designing is not just some software. Designing is what comes through you. It is your creativity. How do you arrange the elements? How do you arrange photograph, illustration, typography together with color? That is going to be designing. So you have to have your basics clear like anything. Because in this run of AI, people are forgetting the basics. So a lot of people look for templates or designs or generate something from AI, which AI is doing pretty good. Amazing, I guess. But all those designs are accumulations of what artists have made previously. So when you make something from your own, when you understand layouting, when you understand the elements of graphic design, when you understand the principles of hierarchy, of symmetry, of proximity, everything, it will put you way ahead of the people who miss this classic concepts. So with technology, by embracing everything that is coming in, please do not forget to pay attention to the basics, the very, very basics. Third point will deal with your mindset. See, you have the technical skills and you do have the creative skills, but when you enter graphic designing, one thing you need to know is graphic designing is not just art. It is art, but it is visual communication as well. So when you enter graphic designing, please don't think that I'll make art and it will get sold and I'll earn money. Though that is a part of graphic design, that is not all that graphic designing is. Graphic designing is about communicating a visual message. And as time goes on, it is not even just visual, which motion graphics coming in, with reels coming in. It is more of audiovisual now. So when you take a message and then you have an audience and you communicate that message to the audience, that is what graphic designing is. Okay, correctly communicating the message through visuals, specifically because we are talking about graphics. But you have to understand it is not just art. How beautifully you make it, it is art. But how you communicate it to the audience is going to be designing. Okay? And when you design this message particularly, it is called graphic designing. So when you come in, please come in with the mindset of conveying a message rather than just creating something that nobody will understand. Fourth point. One of the things that come in handy when designing anything. So you have learned your creative stuff, you know your technical stuff, you also have an understanding that you will have to convey the message. But the people who you are conveying the message to are using Instagram, using social media and watching through it different things that give them a rush, attract their attention, and they like to see that. So you will have to be in line with the trends that are going in, because the trends are going to dictate how interesting your content is. No doubt your art can make even better content, and if you can do that, please do that. That is even better. But the content that is going on, you at least have to float along the same lines to show your content to someone, for them to get attracted and click on the button or click on the call to action and receive the message correctly. If you don't pay attention to the trends, what will happen is, if your message is not above that, it will drown. And then you will lose the audience and you will no more have the capacity to grab the attention through visuals. So that is why it is very important to stay updated with the trends that are going to happen. The next point focuses on the user. Your user has habitually grown into looking at designs or social media, on banners, on posters a certain way. They follow a specific flow that evolves with time, that evolves with trends. But if you understand that flow, you understand the experience of the user. Now you can do two things. So one, use it to better convey your message and sell the thing that is required to be sold, or tell the message that is required, or break that link to create a even better emphasis. But if you don't break it correctly, you know how they say you have to learn the rules to break the rules? This is the rule, the design, the flow that the consumer, the audience goes through. If you break that correctly, you will be able to deliver the message better than everybody else. But if you don't, you will again down. So you will need to understand how the user is habitual to looking at designs now, how the flow goes. When we come to graphic designing is no more on analog, though it is amazing. But graphic designing has to do a lot with your social presence. So you have to build on Instagram, you have to build on Behance, because even if you think of getting hired in a graphic designing company, then look at the audience that you can attract, the kind of people, and that will improve your chances to do freelancing as well. So you have to build a very heavy, very good audience. And the way that will happen is, you post your designs in your own style, but consistently, every single time. And that will eventually, in 6 months, I'm not saying it will happen in a month, but in 6 months, you will harvest some kind of community that actually likes your design. And hopefully they'll be able to pay you for it. One of the points that come when better understanding designing, and that is for me, is not only to do it on digital, but to do it on analog as well. Because when you cut, for example, you have illustrations, photographs, and typography. When you write something with your own hand, you understand the message better. When you cut a photo, you understand how a photo has to go, the placement it has to take. When you look for illustrations, you understand clearly what you're looking for. So one of the best things that you can do is, with digital, try to do some kind of analog work every day, which will better your creativity as the days goes by. If you like the content so far, please subscribe, please like, please comment something. Tell me what next video you would like to watch. I'm a new YouTuber. Believe me, I'll make it for you. Okay, thank you so much. The last point. You have to become very adaptable. As the situations are changing, anything that, or anybody who does not want to learn AI, does not want to learn the new things that are happening, will go obsolete. That is the same thing that happened with cameras. Okay, film cameras were replaced by DSLR. DSLR are getting replaced by mirrorless, and God knows what is going to come next. Same goes for everything and anything. The trends, the softwares that you use, the technology that is going to come in, your designing will change. You are going to get into, let's just say, social media posts, but you might end up becoming a book cover designer, or a logo designer, or a handlighter, or a graphic tree designer. Or maybe something else that we don't even know yet. You have to keep your mindset very open, not to constrict yourself to only one thing, but any and everything that can happen. I hope this video helped you. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.